Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Schmoedown reaction here on Dedicated to Art. I'm Nico Suave Rigoli. That's Chris Doman. And Chris, we got ourselves a very interesting matchup today where if you filled out your bracket and you knew this match was coming before a certain switch was made, but here we are now. It's the Evil Geniuses taking on the Paddington 2, and the Evil Geniuses. This is like Lon Harris's third partner since he's joined the Schmoedown, and he's been in the Schmoedown for only like 2 years, so that's saying something.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those weird things where, we started off with JTE. They had that great first match, and then, of course, a certain little bird happened. And we'll talk about that this Friday on the Who Cares Anime podcast. But, then, of course, he had his brother, and the Harris brothers actually took it to the finals where they got the living hell smoked out of them, and it was not even funny. But then JT came back. And now, because JT had to move to Arizona, now that's not quite happening anymore. So now we have this new guy, Simon. I don't know who Simon is. I don't know if he's any good. But I do know the Paddington 2 are kind of like what I was saying about Self-Righteous Brothers earlier in the week on our reaction for Looney Bin versus the Self-Righteous Brothers. The Paddington 2 are one of the most unlucky teams for how skilled they are. I mean, Matt Atchity competed for a belt and only lost it in sudden death. And technically, if he had just, not stayed in character, he would have been team champion with Gray Drake. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, now that I think about it, this was almost half a rematch.
Yeah. This was almost half a rematch, and, not anymore. But this didn't affect my bracket because I told myself, even though Paddington 2 are unlucky, I still think they're going to actually pull this one off. Even if JT was here.
I'm going with the Paddington 2 on this one. Matt Atchity and Alonso Duralde, they have a lot of chemistry together from having worked on the show What the Flick, which was on the Young Turks for a couple of years before it went away, when they focused more on politics on that channel.
I was saying, What the Flick is now its own channel.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's been its own channel for like a decade.
Huh. Well then, I'll have to subscribe. But yeah, the most we got out of Simon, like our first introduction to him, was him looking at the pages of a book, closing the book, and then saying, "I just remembered I can't read." So, what does that mean for his actual gameplay? We don't know.
Nope.
We don't know. So there's a lot of unknowns here regarding Simon, and I guess we'll just have to figure that out when we watch this match in 3, 2, 1, press play.
Hey.
The Adventures of Kaiser.
Yeah, Roka hasn't worked for this company in a long time.
You know where I can find Mike Kalinowski?
Mr. Kalinowski?
Yes. You know Mike Kalinowski?
He's a muggle, I believe.
I believe so.
I believe
He's a mug.
I believe he's out in the muggle world.
All right, John, thank you. Good seeing you, John Roka.
It's not Roka. Kaiser. Although when late to the party bumped into Roka in character at Wizarding World, that was amazing. Go look that up.
Kaiser is like my late dad trying to understand the UFC and be related to me. Like, it's hilarious to watch him try.
Gentlemen, and welcome back to the movie Trivia Schmoedown. Nice. It is a playoff atmosphere.
Okay, Guys,
It is a
drinky
playoffs
game.
atmosphere.
Take a sip every time there's
It's
a baseball
playoffs
reference.
Ass in here, and we're excited
Oh,
to
dear.
be here.
Ass of a playoffs here, the butt of a tournament, and ladies and gentlemen, it is the ultimate Schmoedown, the team edition, and I'm luckily enough joined by a man who can talk, and that is Ken Knapsack, the Grantland Rice of modern day. Ken, how are you?
A bevy of guests, I
I'm
say.
happy to be here talking into an iPhone, and let me tell you something. This is a interesting time. I love tournaments.
Yeah.
Whether it's the tournament here for the singles, the teams, or roses. I love tournaments when everyone gets together. It competes for everything moving forward, brackets, all those things, side bets.
Technically, that's a
B
B-movie reference.
Some states still. But this is going to be, I don't know what to expect for today's match.
That's right. Well, you have the Paddington 2 versus
Shame on you,
the Evil
Ken.
Geniuses. Now, look, the Evil
Shame on
Geniuses,
you.
a little bit of a switcheroo here with who's
And
actually
Coho.
competing in the Evil Geniuses.
Fair
When you look
enough,
at the
having as
Paddington
guilty
2,
pleasure.
as
And
rock
Boatman?
solid as you can get as far as
I
film
hate you so
criticism
much right
goes.
now.
They'll know how people you see at screenings.
I would have
Matt
beat
Ashley
Brian
and Alonzo
Michaels.
Duralde, mainstays of the Regal Cinemas in Burbank.
Duralde and actually, they're the type of folks that when they tweet something, you listen, you respect them. They're legitimate. Whereas like you and me just give a thumbs up and ask to click and subscribe. These guys know what they're doing, and that knowledge does translate. But they've in their previous matches come so close, they can't get over that hump. And I know maybe we'll hear them talk about it, but I think that can burn on their wonderful souls.
That's right. Now, when you look at sense of humor, I think that's what.
What
Evil
if Simon
Geniuses
is
have
just
brought
like
along with
Tom
a lot of
from
wins
the
with
Looney
Evil
Bin?
Geniuses. You look at Alon
Maybe.
Harris; he was this close.
I mean, he does look
you know,
like the British Dan
to
Murrell.
tasting glory last year. I know he wants to get back to that, but when he looks at his teammate Simon Thompson, you talk about people whose tweets you respect. The guy's name is Showbiz Simon for a reason. He tweets something about a movie, and you say, "I did not think about Angel Has Fallen in that context."
And that's probably why he's here. We know Lon Harris and his brother Jonathan.
My
managing
favorite
this
Harris.
Team. Your
Yeah.
favorite of the Harrises? You know, they've had some partner issues in the past. And I think Lon Harris is one of those uncrowned champions, at least in his mind. His knowledge, you know, he's one of those guys.
He still
teach
reminds
one
me
of
a
those
bit of
master
Woodsy
classes
Owl.
online about film knowledge and criticism, and you just got to pay like $49.99 a chapter. But he wants to win. He wants to prove that knowledge also translates to the Schmoedown.
That's right. Lon Harris trading in JTE for Simon Thompson. Same amount of hair follicles, but we'll see if the knowledge improves with Evil Geniuses going against the Paddington 2. Let's take a look at what each team had to say in their pre-interview.
This is going to be fun.
Hell yeah.
Perfect for the holiday season.
They're a scary team, and no one's talking yet about these guys. These guys are a super team.
We're back. That's it. We're tired of being on the verge.
Yeah.
We've been the next best thing, or the next big thing for the last 2 years.
Right, we
now?
got robbed.
And your winner.
This time we're going to see it across the line.
Right, you had a good run.
Yes, no, it's been lovely. I've been enjoying myself, but you know, also Rand is not a good look on me.
Once more, I find myself back at the Schmoedown team tournament, and once more, I find myself partnerless. What a revolting development, how things have once again turned out. Being left partnerless, rudderless in this world, I took, as I do so often, one of my regular walking tours of Northern Europe. And who did I meet during my sojourn? A local scholar who was also visiting from the area.
You were partnerless, and my phone didn't ring.
So we're up against the Evil Geniuses.
Ooh, I
give
see
them,
where this is headed.
I'm a little concerned about their title. I'll give them the evil part. As I've always said, those a-holes that think they know it all really annoy those of us who actually do.
No longer the Evil Geniuses. I propose that we call ourselves the Supreme Intellect.
After my career as a bald Harry Potter impersonator was sadly cut short, and after my legacy as Jason Statham's sex double was unfortunately curtailed due to legal reasons, I realised I had a knowledgeable friend, so I decided that I would accept the invitation and join the family.
Don't stand in our way, because we're going to give you the hard stare.
Okay, that is some of the most low-key underrated banter.
Yeah.
that we've heard in the Schmoedown.
The news here is that we have Supreme Intellect. Is now the name of the team.
I mean, we can't even afford to change the graphic on the fly.
Yeah,
Right, Supreme
Intellect is how you're going to be introduced.
Supreme Leader Intellect.
Geniuses, but Lon and Simon, they're here to stay.
Simon apparently living in a bin over there in the UK. Lon finds him on a walkabout, and now they're here. I did sense some tension, pretty palpable, between Jonathan not being selected as a partner here. We'll see if that does anything. Then on the other side, you get Alonzo and Matt. They're just two cool cucumbers, if I could say that phrase. But like I said, Ashley knows, he wants to prove he's gotten close before. They had a run, and they want to build on that, and we'll see.
Say what's on your mind.
Today, and I love Ashley's Christmas lights around the neck.
I wonder what Alonzo's husband has to say about that.
Wants to win this match and advance in the tournament for no other reason, so that we get closer to the holiday season, and Alonzo can once again pimp out his great book, Have Yourself a Movie Little Christmas.
That's just a deliciously punful title.
Isn't
I love that.
Great?
Oh, that's
very punful.
Die Hard prominently mentioned, and one of these teams is going to advance in the Ultimate Schmoedown Teams Tournament. Ken, what is the tale of the
Also,
tape?
Nico,
what
what
are
is
each
that?
one of these teams good at? You want
Pumpkin
to do it together?
pie.
Have anything in
let's do
front
it
of you?
together. Should we hold hands?
Have
like
you no
Thelma and
shame,
Louise going
sir.
up?
The Paddington 2.
My grandma made
I think
it.
it's being run over this, so it doesn't really matter. The
Well, thank
Paddington
you,
2,
Grandma.
obviously they're good
Thank
at
you,
holiday
Granny,
movies.
Goalie.
They're also good at dramas and
Goalie. Wow,
getting
what am I-
sandwiches to be
I am-
made out of
wow.
marmalade.
Oh, wow, absolutely. And
It's
then on
late,
the,
people.
The drinking game didn't even start yet.
Lon feels he has no weaknesses. And French foreign films, silent films, any of those kind of great classics, and of course, Jason Statham movies seems to be something that they all love. Indeed, with Simon, he brings a lot of skills. We'll see though how those strengths translate here today.
Apparently,
The only
sex
weakness
doubling
Lon
is one of them.
Professor has is that
Apparently.
crusty old dean who just doesn't want to give him tenure just yet. Ken, are you ready to go, sir?
Yes, sir, Mr. Ellis.
Then it's time for the movie Trivia Schmoedown! Handling the announcements today is baseball writer extraordinaire Ken, the pit boss Knapsack.
All right, here we go. Introducing
First.
with a record of 1 win, 2 defeats, and 1 knockout. Alonzo Dora, Matt Atchity, the Paddington 2.
In season, bringing in holiday.
Chris, you might know this better than me.
I love it.
Does Alonzo occasionally take a job as a mall Santa? Because I feel like he'd be good as a Santa's helper.
He'd be great, but I
He
no,
took
I
a
don't
cruise to
know.
Ross Dress for Less, Ken.
All right. And their opponents. Led to the arena by their manager, Jonathan.
Well, haven't done this in a while.
This is the Professor, Lord Harris, and the Scholar, Simon Thompson, here by now.
There's nothing left, 'cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man who didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch where you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lined in chalk.
Okay, I think you might have missed it, but Simon adjusted his fly as he walked through the curtain.
Good.
Yeah, this is where all the competitors are.
And he licked the
All
marker.
right, gentlemen, you have arrived at the movie Trivia Schmoedown.
We're off to a
The
great
Ultimate
start with this
Schmoedown
team of
Teams
supreme intellect.
Here is how the rules work.
That's
So for
something
this
you tell
three-round
kids not
match,
to
in
do.
Round number 1, 8 questions are going to be asked to the field. As soon as we ask a question, you have 15 seconds to write down your best attempt at an answer.
All right, guys, you know the joke. Chris gets a perfect round. I'm without my handicap partner, so I'm going to try.
Your answer. Please show what you wrote on the whiteboard to us.
That's
the
all
answer
you
desk,
could
as
do
well
is
as
you
the
could
cameras,
try.
and then verbalize your answer into the microphone.
But
at the
then
same
Case would
time.
say, do or
This
do
is an
not.
individual
There is
test
no
of
try.
knowledge,
And I'd
although
say
it is a
he's
team match,
a
so you
freaking
may not
idiot.
rely on the strength of your teammate for questions to
'Cause
be
that
answered in
statement
round
is just
number 1.
dumb.
Each point you accrue goes towards your team's total. Each question is worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing in round number 1. I want the teams and the individual competitors to keep in mind
Case, I love you.
your 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. Juan, you remember JTE?
Oh, Jete. Yes.
Jete.
If you
Recall
aren't
him well.
sure of the answer to a question, or you just want to buy yourself some time, you didn't hear us ask it properly, use the JTE rule. It gives you another 15 seconds to get your answer together. Each team has one challenge to be used at any point throughout the 3-round match. And with that, I will ask first the Paddington 2. Matt, Alonzo, are you ready to play?
Oh, and how?
I'm ready as long as we acknowledge that this is the glasses match.
This is a spectacle
Hold on.
match. I see 16 eyes up there, and
I got my
the
contacts
evil
in.
genius- Excuse me, Supreme.
Well, screw you too.
Intellect, Are you ready to play today?
I think so.
Very confident by Simon. Lon, you want to back that up?
Quite, very much so, quite.
Let's get ready to Schmoedown! Or as Matt would say, welcome to Movie Phone. All right, gentlemen.
Wow,
Your first question will
that's a
be
callback.
asked by Ken, the author of Why We Love Star Wars, Knapsack.
That's right, sir. Thank you. Now available in audiobook form.
By
All
you.
right.
Read by you.
Read by me. Question 1. Categories:
my copy. Oh, it's in
action/adventure.
there.
Action/adventure. Who directed 1997's Face Off?
You mean the
so-
greatest
Night
action
before I go to
movie
sleep.
ever made? That's
Like,
not Die Hard.
Like Dan Aykroyd in Nothing But Trouble?
That's
Is-
one of
is
the
that
greatest. That's one of the greatest
too
all-time
deep of a
films.
Oh,
5.
that's not Die Hard.
Is it
That's
one of
not
the
Die
all-time
Hard.
films?
2.
Well,
we're looking for
I
answers
wrote
starting
John
with Matt.
McTiernan anyway.
Oh,
Sir.
it's wrong John. John Woo.
That's right.
John Woo.
We got Simon.
I'm going to go with films that John Woo directed for 500.
That's a clean sweep.
Chris, did you get that
Your
one?
next category
of course
comes from
I
the
did.
world of
John Woo.
romantic comedies.
It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite
Emma
movies.
Stone starred as Olive Pendergast, a modern-day Hester Prynne in this film inspired by the Scarlet Letter.
Still haven't seen this movie, but know the title.
John Woo.
I went on a date to this
on
movie.
Hard Target last night.
It was
Stars,
a pleasant date.
holds up.
That sounds like an
Every
awkward
aspect
movie to
of
go
it.
see.
No. No, it was good.
I had nobody to tell me I can't watch it.
Like, here's the thing: watch the movie and you'll see why it was a good date movie. Easy.
Easy A.
Easy A.
You are correct, sir.
Easy A.
We got that. Simon.
I'm going to go with John Woo's Easy A.
Directed by John Woo. We'll give you the point.
Easy A, Chapter 2.
Easy A and an easy point for all
Yes.
4 gentlemen.
Tied at 4. Third
Easy A,
question comes from the
the A
category
strikes
of
back.
Dramas. What 90s mystery stars John Travolta, my personal favorite actress Madeline Stowe, James Cromwell, and Timothy Hutton?
Can I ask you a question? When did young Knapsack first stumble upon Madeline Stowe and say, that's the one for me for all time?
Unlawful Entry.
I was going to say Unlawful Entry or
and
Last
then,
of the Mohicans.
Last Mohicans, followed by Bad Girls, the greatest Western ever made. 5.
Young Guns 2
4,
is not happy with
3,
what you just said.
2, 1. It knows why.
Oh, shit.
Starting with Alonzo.
It's not Get Shorty, but
That's incorrect. Incorrect, Simon.
I drew a sausage.
We hope that's a sausage.
Correct in another game, but wrong for us. Matt.
General's daughter?
That is correct, sir.
that was it.
Lon.
I also had the General's
Look at
daughter.
that.
Yeah,
We're still
yeah,
tied.
yeah.
We're still tied.
Still
We're still
tied with 2 perfect
I'd used
rounds
JT, I
going
probably
up by
would've
Matt
done it.
Atchity and
Perfect
Lon
times.
Harris. We
He's the
advance to
general.
your next category that
Duh.
is crime films. And your query in the 2018 film Widows, Liam Neeson plays a professional thief who is married to whom? We need the name of the performer, not the name of the character.
Okay.
The
There are like
actual
3
person.
black actresses who I continuously get mixed up with one
Yeah, I
another.
cut
Right?
this one on my
I'm
star.
really
So
hoping I
that stars
have
for
the
Drew
right
Cameron.
black
How about that
actress.
70-inch TV? 5.
Fences.
75
Amanda Waller.
inch, Ken, please.
2.
Don't undersell
1.
what I'm
So
bringing. to
sorry.
the
Viola
So
Davis?
sorry.
Viola Davis.
Looking for answers, starting with Simon.
I drew a cat.
That is a cat.
That is a
correct.
fine-
There.
that is a
Matt.
Fine
sausage.
example. That's a fine example.
That cat's name is Viola Davis.
That is correct. That is correct.
Not just a fine actress, but an instrument I play well, Viola Davis.
There we go. Alonzo. For the
Viola
lead, we got
All
a
right.
lead.
Yeah, that was dirty.
7-6. 7-6. Comments are going to say, Mark and Ken having too much fun here today.
This is usually the case, Ken.
Fifth question comes to the category of fantasy/sci-fi. Fantasy sci-fi. What is the name of Jeffrey Rush's character in the Pirates of the Caribbean films?
You know what,
Yeah,
Nico?
they
I'm going
know
to give
to
you
be
props if
composed.
you get the
Don't need
first
the
name right,
rank.
too.
Just need the name that the character goes by.
Second favorite ride at Disneyland. I use it to take naps in. To
Pirates?
recover-
Yeah,
recover.
just
5,
never.
Got
4,
one old school on this one.
3, 2, 1.
Captain
Now look at
Barbossa?
transfer
Hector Barbosa.
Barbosa.
You're perfect.
Nailed it.
Boom.
Lon.
It is Barbosa.
All right, Lon remains perfect.
Barbosa.
Alonzo's got it.
I had Steve.
Steve is
Is it not Captain Steve Barbosa?
Yeah,
I always
it's
thought
his
Hector.
middle name. I can't
It's
believe
Hector.
it's never referred to more often.
To get our research department on
Steve,
that.
Steven, Kevin, Barbosa.
7-9. We should point out that Atchity and Harris, Lon, both perfect so far in this round.
They're tossing
Yeah,
perfect
they are.
games, and we have 3.
You might have just
categories
jinxed them, Ken, but
left,
we'll see where
and
this
if
goes.
They manage to maneuver those perfectly as well. They will be asked a bonus question to them, and only them that is also worth 1 point. Your next category is in the world.
I would be
of
perfect if I had just
comedies.
freaking remembered. Freaking General Star.
And your question is:
I've
who
seen that movie
stars
twice.
as country singer Dewey Cox in Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story.
Quick, someone get
Favorite all-time
Spence.
movie Of friend of the show, Jason Inman.
I think I'm off here.
He loves that.
Well, he was
Walk
looking for it on
hard.
Blu-ray on Amazon.
Hard.
I'm not sure if he's found it yet.
4.
Down the
Back
lines.
up 2.
Rocky
1.
road.
Looking for answers, starting with Lon.
Walk bold.
John C. Riley.
It is.
Oh.
John C. Riley.
We got a correct
That's
answer
my
there.
creed.
Simon.
John C. Riley,
got
otherwise
it.
known
I
as
had Josh Brolin.
Right? Atchity.
Mark's cousin, John C. Riley.
There we go.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Correct. 11-9, still a 2-point lead.
Hey, don't say
here.
the other way around,
Jesus.
Ken.
And Lon, actually, still perfect so far. 7th question comes in the category of animated films.
Yay!
Who voiced young Simba in 1994?
Shit.
The Lion King.
Home Improvement.
To the greatest year
Oh.
in history, because that was the year Bad Girls was released.
Was 94?
You're welcome.
Okay, let's go down the bet. So Madeline Stowe, Drew Barrymore,
Mary Stuart Masterson,
5. 4.
Mary
I'll
Elizabeth
count you for
Mastantonio.
3. That was the other one too. 1. Pens
Jonathan
down,
Taylor
we're gonna do
Thomas?
first,
Boom.
Alonzo.
JTT, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Was
You're welcome.
Jonathan
Correct,
Taylor
sir.
Thomas. Did Simon have it?
I have John Woo.
John Woo. Educated
Jonathan
guess.
Taylor Thomas Steve Barbosa, Chapter 2.
I call him Jete, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Shit.
10-10 Bye.
All
Matt
right.
Ashley, Lon Harris, perfect going into the final question.
If they can get this last question right, they will be asked a bonus question. Your category, horror/thriller.
Yes. I'm on, baby.
And the question is the final one in round number 1. What 2001 horror film stars Gina Phillips and Justin Long as a sister and brother who encounter flesh-eating creature on a backcountry road? Whew! You talk about a road trip you don't want to get into, am I right? Ken?
One of the most underrated films of the
Take
2000s.
freeway to Arizona and
Does
yeah.
not get enough love.
Going through
Since Justin Long is in this, I'm just gonna put this joke answer.
3, 2.
Repeat the question, please.
I
We
can
got one.
do that. What 2001 horror film stars Gina Phillips and
Because
Justin
this is the
Long
only
as
horror
a
film I
sister
know
and
that would
brother
have
who encounter flesh-eating
Justin Long
creature
in it.
on a backcountry road? And then Ken and I had a good laugh
Ba,
remembering
ba,
that long,
ba.
dusty drive.
Where'd you
where
get
we
those
almost perished
peepers?
to
Yes.
Arizona.
Ba,
But we
ba,
went to
ba.
Jamba Juice.
Where'd you get those eyes?
4, 3, 2, 1. We're at
Jeepers,
for answers, starting with
creepers.
Simon.
Tusk.
I'm going with Cabin Fever.
It is
Correct,
not
sir.
Cabin Fever. Does Matt actually have it for a perfect round?
Jeepers
He
Creepers.
does!
Lon Harris.
Jeepers
He's
Creepers.
perfect!
Hey!
Creepers End.
Jeepers
We
Creepers.
got a
right.
15-11 game, but we got 2 perfect rounds from the professor.
So we get to keep our whiteboards out.
Matt, cruise
Yes, we
ship
do.
Atchity. Here we go.
Actually,
Are you going to ask this one, sir? Do the honors?
Sure, why not? Your bonus question, gentlemen, because two of you did throw a perfect round, we do need you to write it like a normal round 1 question. Alonso and Simon, you can take 5. Your question to Matt and Lon, Fatal Attraction, Evil Dead 2, and Good Morning Vietnam were all released in what year?
Same year as Jaws the Revenge, same year as Empire of the Sun, same year as The Last Emperor, same year as
Certainly
Three Men and a
can. That's
Baby,
JTE rule
same
for
year
the
as
Genius
Nightmare on
Years,
Elm Street 3, The
Intellect,
Dream Warriors.
Fatal Attraction, Evil Dead 2, and Good Morning Vietnam were all released in what year? Your favorite of those three? Hard to go against GMV, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people like ED2.
No, I'll go GMV.
I won't
5,
be ignored.
4,
Ken.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're going to start
19.
with Matt.
1986.
7.
Incorrect.
As long hairs have it.
I oddly also have 1986.
No,
I wrote 1994.
87. The year Andre Dawson hit 49 home runs to win the National League MVP.
Drink.
There's a drink.
Drink.
It's also the year the Washington Redskins won Super Bowl 22 with Doug Williams as their starting
It's football, but I still
quarterback.
count it. Drink.
We move on to round number 2 as Paddington 2 and Evil Geniuses / Supreme Intellect. Neither competitor in the bonus round was able to take advantage and score a point, so Paddington 2 will remain with a 4-point advantage over Supreme Intellect. As we head into round number 2, this is the wheel round, the wheel of fate, doom, and justice. On that there wheel, you're going to see 10 movie categories from 10 different genres of movie trivia, Schmoedown know-how. You also have the competitor's favorite, spinner's choice, and what every competitor dreads, opponent's choice. Once you settle on a category, you're going
What categories will be on the wheel today?
that world. Each question is worth 2 points. There's no penalty for missing a question. However, stealing is available in round number 2. So if you're not sure of the answer, the team can ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1 point. The Paddington 2 is currently enjoying a 4-point advantage. So, Matt, Alonzo, would you like to spin the wheel first?
Alonzo's going to spin.
Alonzo's going to do it.
Mark, you want to let everyone know this wheel, today's match is sponsored by Schmoedown, Patreon, Reefton.
Reef time.
Sponsored wheel, 70s movies.
Also,
and co-star Drew Barrymore. They've got
Ooh,
Keep it spin again.
a Chance Ellison special.
They're going to spin again.
They're going to
spin again.
Oh.
From Pixar. Reefton's wheel. Reefton wanted 70s movies or Drew Barrymore.
Ooh, Hitchcock.
Hitchcock movies.
All right, Ken. Well, if you just look at these two gentlemen on the street and you say, hey,
Not a
these
category
are
we see
esteemed
often.
movie personalities, you'd figure they know a lot about Hitchcock.
You would think so.
Gentlemen, are you
Question, how
confident
am I
in
going to
Hitchcock?
do in these questions?
Yeah, that was actually one of the ones we requested. So.
Oh, wow. Breaking story
Which
here.
is not to say that we're going to do this right.
All right, Ken will be administering your Alfred Hitchcock questions. Did I just give away the name of, is that one of the questions? What was his first name?
Yeah, you might have. First question out of 4.
Out of
6.
6.
Good evening.
Never watched one of these. What film featuring Farley Granger and Robert Walker is about a young tennis player and a charming psychopath that intend to exchange
Strangers
murders?
on a Train.
Strangers on a Train.
That's 2 points for Paddington 2.
There you go.
Crisscross.
Come on.
What Hitchcock film featuring Cary Grant and Grace Kelly is set in the French Riviera?
To Catch a Thief.
All right, they are strong in this category.
They have seen
strong
some
in
Alfred
this
Hitchcock
category.
flicks.
All right. Question 3. The Trouble with Harry from 1955 marked the movie debut of what Oscar-winning actress?
Shirley MacLaine.
That is correct.
Wow. Boy, don't let the Christmas hat fool you. Alonzo knows a lot about murderous, suspenseful films.
4th question
You get any echo?
coming in here out of 6. In Vertigo,
Is it my headphones?
Jimmy Stewart plays a retired what?
Police officer.
Cop. Yeah.
We'll accept that. Absolutely.
There it
Absolutely.
is.
Bravo.
More points.
Guy used to be the Fuzz.
All right. 5th question. What establishment is Green Manors, the setting of Hitchcock's Spellbound?
Ugh, it's
A
a
psychiatric facility.
yes, psychiatric.
Yeah, we're going to accept that. The mental hospital says that psychiatric facility. That's the same thing in my
He
book.
just used bigger words than what we had written.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be penalized.
Look at
for that.
you
Final
go.
question.
Damn.
Final question. What is the name of the De Winter estate in Rebecca?
Manderley.
Wow.
Wow, even I didn't know that.
Woo! Woo!
Matt Anthony, all he can do is high five and give. I don't know that Alonso either blinked or looked in Anthony's direction one time.
It was him in his zone.
Okay,
Wow.
Supreme
What a
Intellect
zone
have to
that
get at
was
least
there.
3
That's a
questions correct in
big
this round
lead
to avoid a
coming through.
I
TKO.
figured somebody else had to get
avoid
their
a knockout.
perfect round.
To avoid a knockout, yes.
That was
Great
impressive.
complimentary each other, and that's what happens in the team division, Ken, is that
Yeah.
if you can compliment your fellow competitors' knowledge, then it really makes for a daunting challenge for a team like Supreme Intellect, who now have to step up to that wheel and live up to their name, or else they could be knocked out.
Absolutely. 27, 11, 16-point lead. You need to stay within 10. So, Supreme Intellect, Evil Geniuses, excuse me, Supreme Intellect. Who will be spinning? Simon, the rookie. Gonna go over there. Take a big
Here
big
comes
hack out of
Simon.
that wheel. Give it a good spin. Give it a good
Reefton's
spin.
wheel filled with.
It's Manderly.
Spin is in. It's,
There goes the spin.
it's a good spin.
It was a fine
It's a
spin.
spin.
Judd
Apatow, you
Apatow.
gonna keep it? Or
Simon,
Are we
Yeah,
counting that
there.
spin?
Yeah.
I would say
Simon-
let's spin again.
Get out of there,
with,
don't
with
do it.
force this time. Like you mean it.
Yeah, okay.
That's a spin.
See, Lon Harris always
knows the
giving
game.
to his pupils.
we've got
Fantasy
Fantasy
Ooh.
Sci-Fi.
We have no choice.
You have no choice at that point.
Return.
I love, I love this
One more
new
time.
wheel, man. It spins like it's a video in a Pornhub category. Just metal.
The voice of experience. All right, gentlemen, 6 questions, just like the Paddington 2 has. Hopefully your fate will be similar. Each question's worth 2 points, and you could use all of them. Your first of 6 in the world of sci-fi fantasy. Who plays Douglas Quaid in the 2012 remake of Total Recall?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
2 points, Ken. They're on their way back.
2 points.
Not to be confused with his cousin, Semicolon Farrell.
Do we get an extra point if we've actually seen the film?
It's a fine question.
I could actually charge you a
Excellent
point.
Because there were 2 of us.
I did enjoy that remake. All right, gentlemen, your
Yeah,
next
we had to
question.
sit through it too.
And Colin Farrell.
Fantasy sci-fi. Who directed the film Ex Machina?
Alex Garland.
I just remember Oscar Isaac's in that.
He is. He's quite good.
4 points.
But
And
it's
Donald-
about a
and
robot
Donald
lady,
Gleason.
so I won't watch it.
5, 4.
Dude.
Can you repeat the question?
I can repeat the question. That's your second
Okay.
use of the JTE.
It's
rule.
honestly
Who
one of the most
directed Ex
interesting
Machina?
sci-fi films of all time. Like, here's the thing.
Classic use
Alicia
of the
Vikander's not even scary.
Buy yourself some time. It's at the tip of your tongue.
It won't scare you. I promise you. I will watch it with
And
you.
Your options are: is it A. Ridley Scott, B. Denis Villeneuve, C. Alex
Please.
Garland, or D. Neil
Might not be
Blomkamp?
scary, but
It's
it's
Alex
gonna
Garland.
freak
It
me out.
is. And that's
Well,
a
yeah,
point.
because it makes you think, man.
What's there? They're
For-
still in TKO territory. They got to secure themselves into the next round.
And
Third
they
question.
can help their case to
Please,
get into round
if let's
3.
say
if
let's
they
say we're
answer
at
this
Schmoedown
next
event, I
question
bring a
correct.
copy with
Who
me.
played
We
the
watch it with me.
sorcerer
Will you just give it a
Balthazar
shot?
Blake in
We'll talk
Disney's
about
The
this another
Sorcerer's
time.
Apprentice.
Nicolas Cage.
That is Nicolas Cage.
The all-time great Nicolas Cage.
That is correct.
All right. Your next question. This is your 4th in round number 2. In the film Looper, what is the nickname of the man who, in the future, will overthrow the 5 crime bosses and close all the loops?
Wow.
Nickname of the man.
We'll go multiple choice.
I can provide that. Is it A, Stormbreaker, B,
No.
Gatekeeper,
No.
C, Rainmaker, or D,
There it is.
Goldbearer?
Rainmaker.
Fun fact, I once confused this movie
It
with
might have been a
Jumper
guess, but it gets them a
That
point.
in a
works.
Schmoedown match.
And guarantees their passage to the next round.
Not just yet, because
The
Paddington
Hayden
2
Christensen
steal.
film
You're
from
right,
2008.
You're right.
Yes.
Steal.
Where Samuel L. Jackson plays
We
a
have
Knights
2
Templar who's out
questions
to
left
stop Hayden
for
Christensen,
Evil
or as I like to call it,
Geniuses, and
it's
now
Mace
you
Windu's
can look
revenge
at
film.
It as not only can we get into round 3, but maybe we can make some noise in round 3. Your penultimate question in the world of fantasy sci-fi: at the beginning of the film Mortal Kombat, who is the reigning Mortal Kombat champion?
That's a great question.
Shoot. I don't think it's Liu Kang, but
No, it's not.
It
It's
seems like a no-brainer to me.
is it Raiden?
We'll go multiple
No.
choice.
I can provide that. Is it A, Shang Tsung, B, Goro?
I think it's
C,
Goro.
Princess Katana, or D, Shao Kahn?
It is. It's Goro.
There was no help whatsoever.
Let's say Goro.
Another guess and another correct point. He had 4 arms.
I got it. I think he won't admit to it, but the professor dropped some quarters into some Mortal Kombat machines in the
I'm
90s.
glad we watched Mortal Kombat last night. I'm very glad we did that.
Actually, I watched Mortal Kombat Annihilation last night. That was my mistake.
Ooh.
The preparation for this
Ooh.
match.
Hopefully no questions will
The
be asked
far
about that
inferior
misfire.
sequel.
Your last question in round number 2. This could pull the Supreme Intellect team to within 7 of the Paddington 2 going into round number 3. In the world of fantasy sci-fi, gentlemen, what is the first name of Christopher Lambert's character in Highlander?
Connor
Not
McLeod.
Mortal Kombat.
Connor.
It is Connor, and that is 2 points.
He's Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod. He was born 5,000 years ago on the shores of Loch Share. He's immortal and cannot die.
Well, I think Lon's seen that movie more than he's seen Mortal Kombat.
As long as his head's not chopped
All
off.
right, so gentlemen, it is now 27-20. Ken, I look at this match and I see Paddington 2 throwing such a haymaker, a knockout-worthy haymaker, their Alfred Hitchcock knowledge. But props to Supreme Intellect for keeping it a match going into round number 3.
Keep yourself in the game, get yourself within field goal range, and hope for the big kick at the end. And I think that's
Drink.
And the scholar.
It's football, but drink.
It all comes down to this round mark.
I don't understand your sports metaphors at all. So we'll move on to round number 3. This is the round that will decide the match last. We go to overtime. In round number 3, each team is going to give us a series of numbers. These numbers can range from 1 to 20. Each number corresponds to a different corner of movie, trivia, Schmoedown, know-how. The first question the team hears is worth 2 points. The next one's 3 points. The last one, should we make it that far, is worth 5 points. Here's the wrinkle, because this is a team match. Once we tell the team the name of the category, the team must select which member is going to answer that question by themselves. The opposite teammate will then answer the 3-point question. The team may only confer amongst their 2 competitors with the 5-point question. So the Paddington 2 enjoying a beefy 7-point lead. So your 3 numbers ranging from 1 to 20, what feels lucky to you cute, adorable, cuddly bears?
11. 7. Lucky 13.
Look at that.
All right,
Oh,
good set of chemistry there. They picked odd numbers only. And Supreme Intellect.
2.
Got it.
12.
Got it.
10.
All evens, Ken.
Look at that. Oh, look at that.
It is a battle. So Ken Knapsack will be asking the evil supreme intellectual geniuses their questions. Ken, they started with number 2. What does that correspond to?
Modern Classics, also the name of Paul Weller's greatest hits albums released in the early 2000s. Who is going to be taking this question?
Yes, I'll take it.
Simon's going to be taking this 2-point question. He cannot get help from the professor here. Your 2-point question in Modern Classic is, what was Gollum's original
Smeagol.
name? in
I know
the
this now.
Lord of the Rings films?
Smoothhole's full. Does the master fancy knowing that?
4, 3,
Do you, Simon?
1. Need an answer.
Nothing there?
Nothing.
John Woo.
We're looking for Smeagol. Smeagol was the name. Yeah, he has a little conversation with himself occasionally.
Okay.
So, Ken, we're going to stick with the Supreme Intellect for their 3-point question. And now
God,
we are
Case
in
would be
range.
having a
If
stroke
Juan
right now if he
Harris
was here.
can get this right, they're going to be asked their
Let's be
5-point
glad
question.
he's
If
not.
he misses, the Paddington 2 will move on in the ultimate
See him go on a rant.
Absolutely. You guys selected number
Yeah.
12. Lon, you'll be answering a question in the category
You ain't wrong,
of
son. You
war
ain't wrong.
movies. War movies. A 3-point question.
The Green Beret.
What 2003 war film stars Jude Law, Nicole Kidman, and Renee
F this movie,
Zellweger?
Cold Mountain.
Cold Mountain?
That is correct.
Ooh.
That is correct.
Keep themselves alive,
Look at
but they got to
that.
hit this one.
They are in striking distance, but it all comes down to this mark.
They could take a lead if they
could
get
take a
this
lead.
5-point question right.
Yeah.
This would be amongst the greatest comebacks of all time in the Schmoedown. They're somehow able to get this 5-point. Then the Paddington 2 misses all their questions, but we are a long way away.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's not
You
Feel
guys
encouraged. Thank you.
chose number 10. which is
So we can confer on
You
this.
can confer together. You have your JT rules, 2 of them left. Category is fantasy sci-fi.
Oh, good.
Fantasy.
Haven't even dipped a toe into it. Can't wait.
In 2005's Serenity, who plays the relentless Alliance operative sent to track down River?
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
It's Chiwetel Ejiofor.
That's correct for 5.
Mordo, baby.
I would never be able to say that even if I knew the answer to that question.
All right, so now Ken, the
His
Paddington
name I
2.
just can't pronounce.
Am
Try
I
it.
a fortune teller?
Try it.
Don't know what's happening anymore.
Chiwetel Ejiofor?
2
Yeah,
point.
that
Your
works.
category that the Paddington 2 selected was number 11, and that
I
corresponds
go by
to
how it's
famous
spelled, and
actors
it's like
and famous
Ejiofor, but
actresses.
either or.
For 2 points, which
I'll take it.
Matt Atchity stepping up could
For the win.
possibly be the hero today.
Brum, brum, brum.
All right. Your question, Matt, for 2 points and the win. Emily Blunt made her feature film debut in this 2004 David Frankel film.
The Devil Wears Prada.
And your winner, the Paddington 2, will move on.
Bravo.
Ultimate Schmoedown team tournament. They didn't even break a sweat in round number 3. Although Supreme Intellect did avoid the knockout, the technical knockout.
Yep.
They made Paddington 2 prove their knowledge, and boy, do they have a lot of intent.
Look, if you're going to lose, I like pushing for them to make your
All right.
opponent win versus you dropping the ball. And I think Supreme Intellect showed that they have a wide range of intellect here today. They just came up a little short. But what about the Paddington 2? These two veterans of the game here to prove themselves, Mark, to show that no,
Honestly,
we're not
I want
just
them to get to the
here for
semis so
entertainment and
badly.
amusement. We're here to win as well.
It would
and
be
also
an
be
interesting scenario for them to get to
entertaining
the
and amusing.
semis.
So I think it's a big win for the Paddington.
That's right. I mean, you
Who are they
look at what the
playing, though?
Paddington 2 did here
We'll
today.
find
They didn't
out
have
in
to
a
answer
bit.
the 3 other 5-point question, or we might be in range of all-time points scored in a match by a team.
Yep.
We had a perfect round at number 1 from Mr. Matt Ashley. We had a perfect round 2, largely in part due to Alonzo Duralde's Alfred Hitchcock knowledge.
Wow,
and
yeah.
the question that they were asked in round number 3, they got that one. So the Paddington 2 proved that if you sleep on them at all, or you go into round number 2 trailing them by even a couple points, you are in danger of getting knocked out because they can get a round 2 category they like, and they can zoom past you like Vin Diesel in one of those Furiously Fast movies.
Oh, yeah, those are great films, as the professor will tell you there. We are almost set to go to some post-game wrap-ups here, Mark, with two I know we're getting some people in place here. Emma Fife is going to be interviewing, and we're getting the inside story here. So let's kick it over to Emma Fife right now.
Thanks, Ken. We are here with the victorious Paddington 2. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, Alonzo, Matt, you guys are some of the foremost, film critics in the internet space today, and it's really nice to see you thriving here in the Schmoedown.
Well, the bridesmaids thing was only going to take us so far. We needed to finally,
And you guys performed, you did it pretty well in the tournament last year, and now you're back in it. Really strong start. Are you planning on taking it all the way to the top this year?
That's the plan. If we can keep going like we did today. I had a perfect round the first time. Alonzo slayed in that Hitchcock round.
That's a Christmas joke.
Alonzo actually breathed during that Hitchcock
Well
round. Like, it
done.
was just like question he immediately knew. It's like
also a movie,
it's like
Santa's
he
Sleigh.
knew the answers before the questions
Santa
were
goes
done
on a
being
rampage
asked.
and
Like,
kills
are
people.
you actually Alfred Hitchcock?
He does that in American Dad.
Beyond that, no.
And
It
Futurama.
was just sort of one of my early film nerd obsessions, so I knew this stuff. I don't know.
I mean, again, it was really an impressive game from both of you. As you say, Matt, you did have that perfect round in round number 1, so you had to be feeling pretty good going forward.
I was feeling good. I was mad. I had that bonus question. I had it right, and I changed it. I had 87, and then changed it to 86, which was a huge mistake. But that was I was really proud of that. And again, I can't give it up to Alonzo. I don't know how many times in a Schmoedown we've seen that second round be not just perfect with answers without having to go to multiple choice, but by one person, right? That entire round, that was him all alone. So I got to give it up that really put us over the top, and I'm really, really proud to have him as a partner.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the great things about playing in the team's division is having that ability to have a partner that maybe is stronger in categories that you're just mediocre in, and I think that the two of you proved today that you balance one another extremely well.
Yeah, no, this guy is knows so much stuff that I don't, and hopefully vice versa, and that's what makes this thing work.
So next you guys are going to be playing the formidable family, Drew McWeeny and Andrew Guy, who are definitely an odd pairing.
Ooh, boy.
I guess they're making it work because they're both
They're
Drews.
going down.
I don't know. How are you guys feeling about going up against those two?
Drew McWeny's a tough customer. That dude knows a lot, and we're not going to come into this match lightly. We really are going to do our homework because our work's going to be cut out for us, but I think we can take them.
Might I also suggest bringing earplugs because Andrew Guy will probably just yell at you a lot. Well, again, congratulations to both of you.
Oh, the Christmas-related insults.
I look forward to seeing you continue to thrive here in the Ultimate Schmoedown Teams Tournament.
Thank you, Emma.
Well, Ken, there you have it. I mean, you look at what the Paddington 2 brought, and Matt and Alonzo said it as much as they were prompted by the great Emma Fyfe. Look, they complement each other's knowledge well. That's what you need. It's that team chemistry, relying on each other, having each other's backs, going into such a high-pressure setting. The pressure only intensifies.
Yeah.
And so do you like the Paddington 2's chances continuing in the Ultimate Schmoedown?
Either Luna is playing with a toy or something just fell.
The type of team that might be overlooked, even though, everyone respects them as individuals and professionals. They just haven't had a big win or something, and there's flashier teams in people's mind. That's silly. That's silly. Today shows that you need to fear the Paddington 2 in this tournament going forward. They do work well together. It's like you and I on the road. You know Taco Bell's menu. I know Del Taco's menu. We work together for the best road
Number
trip possible.
two, no sour cream extra ground beef.
Del
we move on
combo
to
burrito and double Del cheeseburger.
Our Supreme Intellect is limited to fast food chains. The Supreme Intellect of Supreme Intellect / the Evil Genius is a lot more than that.
5 years from now,
Emma Fyfe,
one of these guys
with the losers of the
will have a medical-related issue to their diets.
The Supreme Intellect, that's what we're calling this pairing now. Things just didn't really go your way today, Lon. I know it's been a tough year for you in general here at the Schmoedown.
Emerline, which I would add is also the name of the estate from Hitchcock's Shadow of a Doubt. I just don't even understand this competition anymore. I don't know what's happened. It seems like intellect, scholarism, and good playing is not being rewarded, and instead we are in this system of endless japery, these pedestrian kind of questions.
Okay. Or I guess in your case, it wasn't being rewarded your incredible art skills, Simon. I have to say, congrats on really having some skill there with a dry erase marker.
Well, I mean, I just like to think that there aren't enough sausages drawn or cats drawn in this. But I'm kind of philosophical.
Go to a college bathroom.
Because it's not that we were the losers; it's just that we were the ones that didn't win. So I think had we had 2 more points, we would have won. But unfortunately, those points were not forthcoming. But, as my mother always said, stop it or you'll go blind.
Okay. Great. Well, Jonathan, I guess we're left with you to speak on Lon's behalf here. Any idea what's going on there? He just kind of left.
Lon got a B+ on a mythology paper in high school, and he didn't come out of his room for 4 months. I know him very well. I know he will get over this. He will come back better than ever. He just needs, some good oatmeal, some Metamucil, a slap on the back. Not from me, from our mother. I'll give her a call. We will be the Supreme Clientele, the Supreme Intellect will be back, better than ever. And this is just a stepping stone from Paddington 1's 83% on Rotten Tomatoes to Paddington 2's 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. This will improve.
It's a really positive and well-researched way of thinking about it there. Thank you.
I got data last week.
I'm very glad that you can Google stuff and read. I would expect nothing less from somebody who manages teams, the evil geniuses, supreme intellect, whatever you're being called nowadays. Unfortunately, this is the end of the road for you here in the Ultimate Schmoedown Teams Tournament. But Simon, I look forward to seeing you come back to the Schmoedown someday and continue to, answer incorrectly with confidence and contribute a little something artistically to the show.
Well, I mean, I killed a man once.
You at the desk.
All right, learning a lot of carnal knowledge from Simon Thompson, but also the big story, Ken Lon Harris leaving the interview. Not really like him. Does he have office hours?
Yeah, he's like Indiana Jones at school. You can never find him to talk about your paper or wink at him. And I don't know. We'll see if the Harris brothers can pull together. I enjoyed Simon, and I'm sure he like I knows if you go out behind the casinos of Prim, Nevada, you can find a good soft spot to pick somebody. But I don't think, I don't know what's going on. But I think that Supreme Intellect, the Harris brothers, they have to work on what's going on.
They have to get that shirt up before next season. This season continues on with the Ultimate Schmoedown Team Tournament. And yes, the Paddington 2 have advanced, and that is going to be our show here today. Before we let you go, I want to remind you guys to grab tickets for Schmoedown live events at the schmoedownlive.com. Pick those up today before they sell out. That is Ken Knapsack. I am Mark Ellis. Ken, on behalf of Buffalo Bills Casino in Prim, Nevada, I want to thank you for joining us here today. What's the latest in the world of the Inside Schmoedown?
It's actually called that?
Inside Schmoedown. Stay tuned for that. We're gonna.
As Jay Burns would say, that's a yikes for me, dog.
Live interactive things possible.
Yikes indeed.
I will stay tuned and see if I get a text to one day appear on that show once again. Check us out wherever you enjoy your podcast and on YouTube. Subscribe right here as we continue on in the Ultimate Schmoedown Tournament. That's Ken. I'm Mark. We'll see you next time on the movie Trivia Schmoedown.
Are we getting a cutscene?
Well, would you look at that? The actual castle from Dracula.
No, it's the castle from Harry Potter. Hogwarts Castle.
Oh, yeah. You know what that reminds me? You missed that Bloody Baron question against Chandru. So what I'm going to need you to do is you go in there, you ride that ride 50 times, you tell them you got the fast Kaiser pass, they'll keep you going. And the two is, you go in there, you don't come out till you can tell me the names of all the house ghosts. Now beat it. I don't even know what I just said.
Oh, I swear to God, Kaiser is like my dad, just trying to know UFC stuff around me.
Are we sure that doesn't like have pieces of the spirit of your father somewhere? How it got inside him, like possessing him?
Kaiser's slightly funnier. Sorry, Dad. Sorry. But Kaiser's also shadier, so he has reason to be funny. Okay, moving on. We've made it through the preliminary round, and now we're on to the quarterfinals. And my God, what a match this was! I knew that this was going to be one of the best matches we would get of the tournament in terms of dialogue. Like everyone, because there was a lot more dry wit. There was a lot more low key wit and humor in this match, and it paid off really well. Like Simon, he's gonna struggle a little bit unless he really studies hard for next season. But I think he's gonna be someone that will get drafted late, just because they want the morale that he'll bring.
Yeah.
But as for the Paddington 2, we've been waiting for them to really have a strong performance, and now they're 2-2. This was a very strong performance for them. Actually,
I was gonna say, watch that. They've literally every match they've been in has been a strong performance. It's just a matter of was it enough points in the end to pull off the win. I mean, hell, they scored 32 points in their last match, and they still lost. In their match before that, they scored like 29 points, and they still lost. Like, this is a high-scoring team.
I misspoke. And I realized my error as soon as it left my mouth.
I have spoken.
Hey. But yeah, like, this could definitely be a dark horse team to win this whole tournament. It's just been a matter of, can they put up a high enough score to beat a team in their next match that's really good? Because again, you just said it, that's been their kryptonite, is they put up really high scores, but the teams they've played have just put up somewhat higher scores. So, like, can they overcome this throughout the tournament?
Yeah, and let's also keep in mind that crap, I wish I remember who they said they'd be playing next.
Yeah, I also forgot.
Oh no, I think they're taking on
the family.
Oh, that's right. Duh, yeah. Okay. Which, by the way, listen. Let's keep something in mind here. If, let's say, Supreme Intellect had put up enough points to make them answer all 3 round 3 questions, the points record would have been broken. The all-time 3-round team's points record would have been broken. So if that's the kind of performance that these guys are going to put up, and if Guy, does Guy's thing where he just talks and can't answer for shit, then I'm sorry, the family is screwed. That's just the plain and simple of it.
But that said, we have seen McWeeny, regardless of the partner, put up ridiculously good scores in teams matches.
Oh yeah,
look at what he did with Brianne Chandler last year. Like 35 points.
35 points. Well, that's a little bit different because at least in that round 1, Brianne herself only missed like 1 or 2 questions.
Still, though, that's an impressive score.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying.
In their first match. So, like, the next match between the next match that we're going to get out of the Paddington 2 and out of the family, it's going to be competitive.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be talkative, too, but it's going to be competitive, and I look forward to it. Last thing before we go to plugs. Lon Harris. I think he's probably had the 3rd worst year out of Schmoedown competitors, with Haley Fouch having the worst and maybe Whitney Seibold having the 2nd worst.
Yeah. I mean, at least Whitney Seibold. No, I'd switch Lon with Whitney because Whitney's at least won a number 1 contenders match. Critically acclaimed.
I know, but like that was early on in the year, and then from then on, it's kind of been downhill for Whitney. Lon, it felt like at times that he was making a comeback, and then each time he got knocked down again. Like, had some rough luck with his brother. Back comes JTE. Never gets to play with him. I think maybe
outside of the one match.
Yeah, outside of the one match. Never really gets to capitalize on that momentum of reforming the Evil Geniuses.
Yep. And
But then brings in Simon, and we see what Simon can do. He brings a fun energy to the match, but knowledge, at least not with the questions that were asked here tonight, didn't have the strong showing.
Hashtag sad Smeagol.
So I guess Lon Harris is probably going to go back to the drawing board, and who knows what we'll see out of him in 2020. Who knows where he'll get drafted, who will draft him, and what round of the draft he'll get picked in.
Actually, you know what I would like to see him do? I want to see him go the exact opposite of his character. I want to see him go from the professor, and I want to see him turn it into Paul Preston.
You want him to go full frat boy?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. I mean, there is that Will Ferrell movie, Old School. Like, you just flip the story a little bit and say, like, a professor down on his luck, he decides to go back to his youthful days and tries to find himself again. Maybe that's what we'll get out of him this season. But yeah, let's celebrate the fact that Jonathan got data on his phone and Simon killed a guy. Okay, guys. This has been our Schmoedown reaction. Click that like button, subscribe to our channel, comment below, share this video, and let all the people know of the good work dedicated to art and the Schmoedown are going to be doing in 2020. Chris, where can the good people of the internet find you?
Of course, you guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Stardust, Letterboxd, and Discord at Skywalker Nolan. You guys can follow this fair channel on Twitter and Instagram at D2A channel. Please like our Facebook page, join our Facebook group so you can keep up with everything we've got going on. This Friday on the Who Cares Anime podcast, we'll be joined by a former member of the Evil Geniuses, Little Evil, JTE himself, aka Josh Tapia, famed Ecuadorian film reviewer. It'll be a fun conversation, to be sure. We'll talk Schmoedown, talk movies, and we'll just, hang out and have a good time. Guys, got a lot of stuff coming in 2020, and we need your help. So, if you or someone you know happens to be a graphics designer, a video editor, or you want to break into YouTube yourself and you have a great on-camera personality, please send us an email at D2A channel at gmail.com with a link, with a resume, and we'll go over it and we'll take it from there.
And as for me, I kind of don't want to be found right now because 5 more weeks of college, #almost free. So just leave me alone for a bit while I try to get those 5 weeks done. But if you actually do need to find me, like for emergency reasons and whatnot, at Nico Suave on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, or just Nico Suave with 4 random meaningless numbers at the end on Discord, Instagram, Snapchat, and LinkedIn coming after graduation. You can find me over on Combat Wrestling Trivia on Facebook, Combat Wrestling Network on YouTube. The poorly made Twitter handle is at Combat Wrestling, the number 2. There is no letter G. Sometimes on TMG Entertainment, where I'm the Chokeslam Wrestling Debate Champion of the World. And of course, right here on Dedicated to Art and all the places Chris just said. #Trivia for Thon 2. There will be an announcement video on this channel coming up within the next 2 weeks as to what the matches will be that I can announce so far. But until we get to that point, take care.
Yeah.